send pictures. We're starting an OnlyFans.
Hello and welcome back. Today I have something a little bit different. I recently went to my first ever Ren Fair and I had a lot of fun. And in order to fully enjoy myself, I must always immerse myself in the experience as much as possible, so I decided to create a costume. This is going to be a two-part video, with this part being some of the footage from the actual Ren Fair, and the next part of the video detailing how I made my costume. This was a completely new experience for me, and I'm super excited to share everything that I saw. Now, this Ren Fair took place in Mount Vernon, Arkansas, which is a little bit of a drive for me, and it took place in an area they called Dragonstone Springs. I believe this was the inaugural Ren Fair of this location. They have been building towards this for a while, and so this was really an exciting moment for everyone involved. They had different themed weekends, and initially the weekend that I wanted to attend was the high fantasy weekend because my costume was a little bit more in line with that theme. However, it was about 90 plus degrees that weekend, so me and my band of merry miscreants decided to hold off another week and ended up going during the Viking warrior weekend, I believe, which was still fun and really didn't change my experience at all, I think. Once we got to the venue, we headed inside and there was a quick weapons check, and then we were let in. And honestly, I was immediately overwhelmed by how large the venue was. I think it was about 7 or 8 acres mentioned that there were to walk. I might be completely wrong on that number. I'll fact check myself. Everywhere you looked, there were buildings and people and things to do, and it was really exciting. I had no idea where to go first, but we just started on our way. And one of the first things that we did was we went to a show. They were touting tons of free shows, anything from comedy troupes all the way into sword swallowing, which you will see later on in the video. We found our seats in the arena and immediately we started watching this, I guess like fire bending show. There was a troupe there that was just performing fire tricks. They were spitting alcohol everywhere into the flames and creating larger flames. It was really cool. I've never seen anything like that in person, so it was pretty interesting. As we were watching the show, this troll character that apparently roams the grounds every day of the Ren Fair starts just coming up the steps and like smacking his walking stick on the steps, and we're all just sort of a little bit like intimidated but also intrigued, or at least I was. And immediately I was like, I have to get a photo with this person at some point. As soon as we exited the jousting arena where they were performing the fire show, we heard a large round of applause and screaming, and so we hurried on over to another stage where there was a person performing stupid human tricks. His words, not mine, although he's not wrong. And this gentleman was doing some rather Some rather risky things, and also saying risque things.
And I will do this upon the count of 3. I will do this when I count to 3. This is not something to rush. Otherwise, instead of the Molotov show, it's watch the burning idiot stick his head into the porta-johns. Then it becomes the Blue Man Group. 1, 2. 3 days ago I did this. 2, 3.
He at one point stuck his tongue into a mouse trap, and then here momentarily you'll see him sword soloing. So if that's not something that you're into, you should probably look away for the next few seconds. Yeah, it was something. It was something. It's not something that I imagined seeing when I went there, but you never know, I guess, what's going to happen at the Ren Fair. There were honestly just all kinds of live demonstrations going on. There were blacksmiths who were hammering things into things, and there were so many places to shop. There were tons of artisans who had stalls set up who were selling beautiful and very interesting things. Anything from jewelry to costumes to swords. There were beautiful swords and daggers at this one tent that we passed. There was someone selling crowns. Also walked up on a petting zoo. Honestly, the best thing about the entire event was just the people. I didn't run into a single person who wasn't extremely kind. Every vendor was very sweet. There was a lot of trinket exchanging. I got a rose petal from a little girl, which was really sweet. I got a tiny dinosaur from someone, and then like some chainmail links, which was a little random but cool. And I was handing out stickers that I had cut out for people of fairies and mushrooms and just things that kind of went along with my costume. But yeah, the people really made the experience. And as I said earlier, there was the troll character who was roaming the grounds, and I ended up seeing him at this place called the Jerusalem Cafe, where they had like baba ganoush and chicken shawarma and just all kinds of really good food. And I was getting a drink, and I saw him, and I was like, I really want a photo. And we ended up chasing him down, and he was so nice, and he took a photo with me. We had a little conversation, and then we also ran into a professor that I had in college, and he was in costume as well, and we were, just catching up and such, and a woman walks up to us and says, "Can I get a picture with the elf, the troll, and the giant?" Meaning me, the elf, my professor, the giant, and then the troll. And so we all just got together and took a photo, and it was kind of a funny moment. But yeah, after wandering around for a little bit longer and just seeing some of the things that the stalls had to offer, we went to my most anticipated event, which was the joust. They had these absolutely beautiful horses. I'm not sure if they were Andalusian or they were just beautiful and huge. And there were these men wearing real armor and clinking around on their giant horses. And it was so exciting. The energy from the crowd was great, and everybody was like yelling and getting into it. it was just awesome. It was really cool to watch something that, you know, actually happened in history. And while it may not have happened exactly like that, you know, close enough. I felt like I was in A Knight's Tale. I was ready to stomp. We will rock you on the bleachers. It was just, and yeah, after the joust, we wandered around a little bit more, and I ended my trip to the Ren Fair with a little archery, which was a lot more challenging than I thought. But you know, I didn't do as bad as I thought. Every arrow that I sent flying made its way into the hay, and while only one of them got even near the target, I was quite impressed with myself and just the fact that I didn't hit anyone or anything that wasn't meant to be hit. Overall, it was a really great experience. I think my only regret is not wearing something a little bit cooler, because even though it was in the 80s, it felt absolutely scorching, especially in the stands, because the sun was like beating directly onto us, and I was wearing this leather, well, fake leather, but still, corset that was sort of like holding all of the heat next to my body, and then things on my head and things around my hips, and it was like very overstimulating, and I got very hot, but ultimately I still had a great time. I left with some souvenirs. I experienced things that I have never experienced before, and it was just a great day. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see part 2 where I create my costume, please subscribe, because I'll be posting that next Saturday. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.
The fact that you know what OnlyFans is means you're grounded.